Well, good morning. I don't have any towing recovery stuff going on right now, so I'm out doing some exploring in the desert right behind my house. And there's one video I've been getting asked about a whole lot and I've been putting off a whole lot, so I figured now would be the perfect time to get to it. And that is my Jeep. Right there. Been asked for a walk around video of this Jeep quite a few times now. And I've been putting it off a whole lot for a couple of reasons. Number one, there is nothing special about this Jeep at all. It is the most basic Jeep Cherokee you're ever going to find. And two, I didn't do any of it. I bought it just like this. I slapped some stickers on it, threw some gear in it, and went to work. So I didn't really think it warranted a walk around because one, nothing special. Two, I don't even get to take any credit for anything that's here. So if you like what you see, sorry, wasn't me. And if you don't like it and think it's dumb, sorry, wasn't me. But I figure now we got some time. I've got asked about it quite a few times. So let's get to it. And we're going to see if we can do this all in just one super long, dumb take. So why don't we start at the front here. This is a 1993 Jeep Grand Cherokee with the 5.2 V8, which was a big selling point to me since I was going to spend a lot of time in sand and deep snow pulling people up hills. So that V8 was a big selling point. It has a 4.5-inch rough country lift on 33-inch tires. Actually, these ones I think are like a 34-ish metric. But it's just your standard short arm lift that rides like crap. But amazingly, you can take this thing down the road at 70, so I guess it's not that bad. I would like to do a long arm conversion at some point, but I'm also super cheap, so I probably won't. Drivetrain wise, V8, automatic transmission. It does have, the transfer case has been swapped from the all-wheel drive transfer case to MP231 out of a Jeep TJ. So this is no longer an all-wheel drive. It is a 2 high, 4 high, 4 low, just like any other actual Jeep Wrangler. It does have Dana 30 in the front and a Dana 35 in the rear, which is well known as about the worst off-roading axle you can get. But this one has the Super 35 kit in it, where it's chrome ollie axles and a bigger spline count, I believe, so that it's now the second worst off-roading axle you can get. And actually this one also has been upgraded to disc brakes. So if you pop an axle, the tire's gonna stay here and not leave. So I guess that makes this the third worst off-roading axle you can get. But for the type of stuff I do, especially when you get in that deep, hard, icy, crunchy snow, one handy thing about this Dana 35 is very small. A Dana 60 or a big 1-ton axle, this drops down another 2 inches lower, which would be the equivalent of 4 inches in tire size to get the same amount of ground clearance. And in that icy deep snow, as soon as all this starts dragging in the ice, you're pretty much done. So yeah, it's not that strong, but I'm not rock crawling, so it doesn't need to be. And it gives me a lot more clearance. So for what I do, it works. It has, there's really not that much to it. These Mountain Vista fabrication fenders, which make for a bigger wheel well opening so you can fit these 34-ish inch tires on a 4-inch lift. Same fenders back here with this slider so that if you brush up on trees and everything, it's supposed to help, I guess. Check out that nice shot of the name on the side there. Didn't plug that at all. This bumper, I don't know if this is an actual bumper you can buy or if someone built it. Some of the welds on it make me think someone built it. And then things like these D-ring tabs don't look like they're welded on all that great, and they're not big enough for any actual D-ring to fit in, so we don't use them. I think about the only thing I've done to this Jeep that involved spending money on it is adding this hitch receiver. There is one right here, but there's not much of any support behind it, so I didn't trust yanking on it. So I put this one on so that I actually have a rated strong hitch receiver to pull from. I can put the winch in here, and this one being dropped down like this, when the winch is in here, the top of the winch sits just under the door and the door can still open. So that's super, super handy. I also added this mount right here so I could put the winch right here in the side to get it out of the way when I need to pull with the kinetic rope. So I don't have to set it on the ground where I will forget it, or throw it in the back where I don't want it bouncing around. There's really not much else to this thing as far as mechanically what it is. Actually, these tires and wheels I did put on it. It didn't have these on it. It had a different... Oh, son of a bitch! God damn it! That is the second time in a row I've kneeled down in a fire ant mound. I really got to stop doing that. Okay, well, as I was saying, get off of me. These are tires and wheels I had laying around from my old Jeep Rubicon. I put them on here because these are a bead retention wheel. They have a lip that sticks up on the inside of the bead for both the inner and outer bead. So you can run them down at like 5 psi and you're not going to lose a bead. Kind of like a bead lock without actually being a bead lock. Damn, those things are gnarly. So yeah, I put those on, but it didn't cost me anything because I had them. So on to the money making part, which would be all the stuff in the back. I do have the spare tire in here because I haven't figured out a spare tire carrier that I like and will also clear the top of the winch, so I could swing it open and close with the winch in here that sits up this high, because I don't want to take the winch out to open the back. So I'm probably going to have to build something. I would really like it out here because it's super inconvenient here, but for now, that's where it is. These are actually the tires and wheels that were on it when I bought it, so I have a bunch of these spares. Anyway, onto the back. We have spare tire, CO2 tank with my split airlines that you've seen, dome light that's supposed to be up there. You just turn it on, turn it off. Huh. Anyway, always got lots of spare water. Toolbox, it's pretty much everything you need to work on a Jeep Cherokee. Spare synthetic line extension. This is all my soft shackles and recovery rings. I was super skeptical about all this stuff originally, but I am now a huge believer in synthetic. Here is pretty much, between that and this, pretty much everything I need on most all recoveries. The kinetic rope that everyone asks why I don't use more, but if I had more situations where it was the better option, I would use it more. Oh, and yes, since I got some serious crap over this, yes, I just hooked this to here and I pull on it. This is not a step, this is a recovery point that's shaped like a step. It is rated and designed exactly to pull from. You can just loop this on here. You can, if I can do it one-handed, stick it through there and hook it right there if you want a stronger hold. What I usually do, put it right there, take your Velcro, wrap it around. Now I can pull and pull and pull, and when I back up to get another run, this can't come off of this and then fall off. So I know in one video I didn't use the Velcro, I used the other end, and I got a bunch of crap for everyone saying it was so dangerous, but this is made for just that. Anyway, tree savers, flat straps, axle straps, probably about the handiest thing ever for finding places to hook on little cars that don't have any place to hook. Endless loops, 30-foot straps. That stuff right there, along with that there, gets me in this pretty much everything I need to pull with just that right there. And then we'll close that. For the other recovery gear is up top. This is just a cheapo gun rack I got at Harbor Freight because it works. So up here you will find all the steel gear. I don't want all this heavy steel stuff in the passenger compartment, where if you were to get in a wreck or something like that, you got all this flying around. So it all goes up here. Yes, it adds weight up high on the rack, but I'm not out rock crawling, so it's not that big a deal. Got 3 steel snatch blocks, plus 4 recovery ring snatch blocks down there. Mini shackles of all sizes and types for hooking to different things. Receiver mount shackles, cluster hooks for different cars and little frame holes, spare hitch pins, 4-way lug wrench, more round slings, more tree savers, more flat straps. This is a V bridle. It has these hooks on the end, so if you need to tow a car out to somewhere, you can use these 2 cluster hooks, hook into the frame rails on each side, then this hook hooks to this ring, and you've got a nice V bridle to pull a car out from safely without damaging it. And we also have spare remotes for all the different winches. That way, if remotes go bad, we have spares. My ice chalks sit right there, about the handiest things ever. Shovels sit up here. I got one big long square point shovel and then a small round nose. We're doing heavy snow recoveries. There's also a full-size round nose shovel. When it gets into serious digging, you cannot beat a full-size shovel. The little ones are super handy, but man, those ants are gnarly. But you can't beat full-size one for serious digging. So open this box, and we have all the spare fluids. A couple quarts of ATF, a couple quarts of motor oil, a couple quarts of gear oil. We have water in the back if we need to refill a radiator. We got room for whatever else we need too. That's pretty much it for the outside and the recovery gear on this thing. I mean, there's not much else to it. The inside, we have my spare parts bag, and not spare parts for the Jeep. That's spare parts for me, for that thing right there. So I don't ever go anywhere without this bag underneath it. Survival kit, kind of. Fire starter, plasma lighter, first aid kit, multiple emergency shelters, protein bars, hand warmers, all the stuff to help you get through a night in case you don't make it back. Here is all the camera accessories and gear, chargers, different attachments, all that for the camera. I would show you what camera I'm using, but I don't know how to show you a camera when I'm filming with the camera. I do have an idea. Look at that right there. So this is a DJI Osmo Pocket 2. It's a gimbal camera, so I can move it all around and it stays nice and smooth because I'm not. So yeah, that's how I can show you the camera I'm filming on while I'm filming with it. Genius. Back to what we were talking about. Down here we got gloves, paper towels, rubber gloves, hand cleaner. In case you can't tell, I hate having dirty hands. So then radios, if I got to pull someone a long way out of somewhere, we can communicate, or once I get someone unstuck and we got to find our way out of the woods, we can stay in communication on the way out. Slim Jims, this is a whole lockout kit. Where is supposed to be a little booster battery jump pack right here. I think it's in the tow truck right now. But the reason for the jump pack and the lockout kit is batteries that stay out in the cold all night long or for a couple days or usually go dead, and an amazing amount of people forget their keys when you go back out into the woods to get their vehicle. So lockout kit. Here's all the wedges and airbags for the lockout kit too. Underneath that, steel extension for reaching out really far, because between that, what's on the winches, and the synthetic extension back there, I think is 300 feet. And then if you add in the couple 30-foot straps, there's another 60 feet. So we can get out over 350 feet just with what's in this Jeep. on its own and can reach out farther than that. I have a bunch more extension at home. But that is all of the gear, other than down under there, there's electrical repair kits. So all the tools are back there, electrical repair kits all under there. Has this super cool seat cover that doesn't fit because the seat's all tore up and I'm too cheap to buy new ones. Inside is basically your average 1993 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Does have power windows and cruise control and all that because we're super fancy. These don't mean a thing because it has a different transfer case, so you kind of just got to know where to put this because, like I said, these don't matter anymore. It's not all-wheel drive. Yes, the windshield is cracked. I know. Got this grab bar, makes it nice for climbing in and out. A CB. Nice little overhead console. What's this? Oh, two-legged bear spray. Got a mirror with lights that work. That's cool. Bobby pins for something. I don't know. But that is it. There's really not much else to this Jeep. You can see why I have not been in a hurry to make this video. Is there's nothing special here. It's your average basic Jeep Cherokee. The only thing that makes it an off-road recovery Jeep is some super expensive insurance and the fact that it's registered as a tow truck. And in Oregon, to do this type of work, you have to have tow recovery vehicle registration, which is tow truck registration. In order to get that, you have to have the super expensive insurance. So aside from some yellow license plates and a huge insurance bill, there's not much different about this Jeep, but it gets the job done, so I use it. Hopefully next video will be using the Jeep, so that'll be a little more exciting than this. And if there's anything else specific you want to see or any types of videos you want to see, put them in the comments and we'll see if we can get to them. But for now, I'm going to go explore this nice desert out here, see what there is to find, and we'll see you guys next time. See ya.